To put it bluntly, it's booming. I think there's been more interest in art than ever before. There are more new artists, there are more new galleries, there's more activity, so it's an exciting industry to be in.
It's opening night on this cold Perth evening at another local gallery. And like a growing list of East Coast artists, Kim Nelson has flown west to unveil his latest work.
I think Perth full stop is fresh and it seems to reflect in the nature of the galleries here. Dare I say tired, but there seems to be a tradition which needs breaking in Sydney.
It's not just artists being lured to Perth. Galleries too are seeing the potential of Australia's boom state. Robert Baratti runs the United Galleries. 2 months ago, he moved from Sydney to open the group's second gallery in Northbridge.
Every artist wants a new audience, so I think that's one of the things that's probably tempting about WA, is that it's a new audience.
The company advises many well-heeled private buyers on what's hot, but his client list isn't what most would expect.
I have clients that are 17 and 18, right up to sort of middle-aged bankers, investors, property developers. I think years ago you wouldn't have had that split, whereas now it really is something that someone can start with $400 or $500.
At 2.6 now, 2.8.
Last month, one auction highlighted what most already knew.
Bidding at 2.9. Congratulations, sir. That is a new record for the artist, an Australian record.
Art in Australia is booming. It's another sign of the economic good times, and long-term the trend is promising. This week, auction sales for the year hit $107 million, surpassing last year's total and up from $33 million a decade ago.
Good quality art has been a great investment over the years. It's had its bad patches. Long-term though, art has at times outperformed the share market.
Financial advisor Chris Craggs says historically art has enjoyed growth of 6 to 10% a year, but is now a good time to buy, given the sector is so closely aligned to the volatile stock market.
Are we at the top of the cycle or not? If we're headed for a downturn, we're at the top of the cycle, it's probably the wrong time to be buying expensive art. Are we ready for the next 10 to 15 years of economic boom times? If we are, then now might be the right time to be buying art.
But the years of record growth have taken their toll on perhaps the state's biggest investor, the art gallery.
That really has killed our chance to compete on purchasing things. Obviously, we have a limited amount of funds like most galleries.
The Art Gallery of Western Australia receives just $230,000 from the government to acquire new works. That buys just a handful of paintings a year. For the rest, it relies on bequests or donations, which is how these $60,000 drawings were purchased.
This is a group of 23 drawings by Scottish artist David Shrigley, and we raised the money so that we could buy these, and I love them. I think they're just great.
It's also forced the gallery to be more strategic with its purchases, buying ahead of the market by unearthing emerging talent.
In fact, if I were a private collector, I'd be in here seeing what we're buying before I went and bought what I bought. And the only warning I would have is look, look, look. Look at mediocre stuff, look at great stuff, and suddenly you'll separate the wheat from the chaff.
Very good art in Western Australia, in my opinion, is probably the best value art you can buy anywhere.
David Forrest is the head of the Association of West Australian Art Galleries and has run Gallery East in North Fremantle for 15 years. He says the boom is still primarily in the secondary market, which means not all galleries are benefiting.
Where an artist has made their reputation, established their reputation, particularly nationally, then people are prepared to invest a lot of money in that artist's work. On the other side, most of us show a lot of emerging artists and artists who are creating their reputation. They're in mid-career, and that can still be a bit of a slog to sell well.
But it seems WA investors are getting braver, and the risk of buying work from an emerging artist may one day pay off.
All the research indicates that when buying art, similar to stocks, it's the small up-and-coming ones that perform the best.
At the end of the day, you buy art because you're actually passionate about it. You have to love it. If at the end of that time you have to sell it and it's earned a lot of money in the process, well, that's a great bonus.